Welcome back, everybody. We're here with another episode of Watch Me Launch a Luxury Cottage Resort. That's probably the longest name you could ever imagine, but it's really what it's all about. As I talked to you about in the first video, I'm going to literally take you on this journey as we open the Hay Bay Resort over the next 9 months. Today, I'm going to interview our Executive Vice President of Hospitality, Hassan Rafiq. We brought Hassan all the way over from the other side of the world because of his immense experience running hotels and resorts. We're going to get into it right after this. Hi, my name is Ken Dunn, and I am the lead developer and the mastermind behind the Cottage Dream Vacations business. At Cottage Dream Vacations, we're building a brand of luxury hotels and resorts right across Canada and maybe even other parts of the world. In this video series, I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. I'm going to introduce you to the key players that are going to run the resorts. I'm going to help you to understand how I find these properties, how I raise the money for these properties, how I pick the teams that are going to build the resorts for us, and most importantly, how I get to enjoy the properties when they're done. Hey, if you're interested in vacationing at luxury properties, or if you're a real estate developer that wants to get into developing projects like this yourself, then come on this video journey with me and let's learn this stuff together. All right, welcome back. Hey, brother, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, Ken?
I feel like we talked 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. We talk every day.
Well, and we've been working on this project for about 18 months now, but I thought it'd be a great time to kind of introduce the world to you in this role because we're now putting together the final plans to open up the resorts and do this. And your title in the company is Executive Vice President of Hospitality, which means you're primarily responsible for all of our hotels and resorts and short-term rental properties as we scale this. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a humbling responsibility, but it's also an honor and privilege to be a part of a team, where entrepreneurs are pursuing such a thrilling adventure.
Let's start with all the formalities right up front. What I was really excited about when we first brought you onto the team in marketing is that you've spent your whole career in hotels and hospitality. So let everybody get a chance to know you a little bit. Where did you go to school? Why did you pick hospitality? What are you excited about? And why are you prepared for this challenge?
So I went to school in France, a small hotel school called École Hôtelière à Vatel. It's in a small town in Nimes. I spent my first year in Nimes. It was a pretty little town, very famous for traditional French hospitality. That town is full of people that are, generational restaurateurs. They are generational wine connoisseurs. So that's where I learned hospitality. Mm-hmm. And hospitality at its core is just about being hospitable to people, service people in the most nicest way you can imagine.
You got this idea in my mind about not just doing hotels and cottage resorts in Canada, but luxury, because we saw when we looked at the market in Canada together, that doesn't exist in this space.
Yep.
But talk about where you really cut your teeth, because what really impressed me about you is the time you spent in Asia and in Dubai really learning about luxury hospitality.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the fastest growing sectors within the hospitality industry was the luxury hotel business. That business was really, really successful in Dubai because of the lower cost in labor and also the strategic position of Dubai in the Middle East. It is very close to China. It is very close to all the high functioning countries. So you have the possibility to get top tier talent and bring them there and create magic.
Right.
That's where I learned, the crazier ideas you have, the better you're going to do in hospitality. It's all about thinking out of the box. It's all about thinking what's the next best thing you can do to surprise people. And Dubai is an amazing venue for that because it's all about one-upping each other.
And what we've been talking about as we've been planning out the launch of the Hay Bay Resort, but everything that we're doing in Canada is taking that extreme luxury hospitality mindset from Dubai and bringing it to Canada.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't exist here.
It never existed here. I moved here in 2020. I interviewed at a couple of hotels, and those city hotels are, you can count them. You have the Fairmonts and the Four Seasons, but nobody else is thinking of doing it. And then I met you, and you had this amazing idea of bringing luxury to a destination, and not even creating a resort, but creating a destination in Napanee.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so let's talk about Napanee. So we found the Perfect View Resort, and right away what I thought about when I saw it was it just needed a facelift. So they had high occupancy, and it was in a really unique niche where it was people fishing, but not just fishing, a specific type of fish, pickerel. And it was full 90% of the time this place was open. And I thought if we can just take that, move it up to a 5-star standard, put all the amenities in place that you would expect to see there, they'll still come, but they'll start telling people about what they're seeing there. We've gotten a few skeptics along the way that say this thing is not going to work in Napanee. This thing is too big. It's too opulent for that setting. But your experience and expertise tells you that there's a really good chance this is going to work. Talk about that for a little bit. Why do you think the Hay Bay Resort is going to work in Napanee?
First of all, to all the skeptics out there, one thing that connects you and I the most together, I believe, is the more people say it's not possible, the more you and I say,
it is possible.
We're going to show you how to do it. At the end of the day, the whole concept that we are developing here is about providing absolute value to the customer. Value in terms of service, in terms of creating memories, in terms of creating experiences. Nobody in the area is doing any of this. Our hotel is just not a lodging institution. It is a destination. It's going to offer you an experience of a lifetime. This place has been created for all the families to bring their kids, help them rediscover Canada. This is what we stand about. So Hay Bay Resort is going to stand on 3 amazing brand pillars. One's going to be gastronomy, second is the guest experience, third is recreation. We are focusing on all 3 avenues of the guest experience. That means the minute you check in, we have an itemized itinerary available for you to choose and design based on your experience and stay that you want. For example, if you are a family of 2 kids and 2 parents, the kids can go fishing the next day with Italo Libignan, who is a world-famous angler. He'll arrange the fishing tour for the kids. The mom and dad can have a dinner arranged for them in the evening time, prepared by a world-class chef. And then once they're ready to go out for a wine tour, there's a daycare center that can take care of the kids for them. That is the luxury and service that we are providing to people. Now you tell me, who else in the area is doing any of this?
Yeah, and then the other thing is that I was thinking of when I looked at what we planned out for the actual accommodations. So we have 4 different types of accommodations. We have these little bachelor cottages. We have 1-bedroom cottages, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 and 4-bedroom cottages at the property. We looked at the market, and this is what I liked about what you did with your team, is you went and looked at the market and saw every other hotel offering within 50 miles and noticed what they didn't have and implemented it. So we have 8 of our units that are the same standard as the highest quality hotel rooms that'll be full all the time because we're actually in the town of Napanee. And I like the way that you guys thought about this experience for people that are coming on vacations, but also how to keep the rooms full even in the traditional non-busy vacation seasons.
Yes, absolutely. So the whole idea of having the right room mix is to be able to cater to every demographic out there. Single rooms are perfectly designed for couples who want to go for romantic getaways in the weekend, staycations, or even just hanging out. The bigger cottages that are lakefront cottages are more geared towards families with kids that need their space, that want to have a homely feeling and to experience the traditional cottage experience. Right? So we have all kinds of offerings for the right kind of customer. And if you price that right, there is no way that you're going to be empty all year round.
Yeah, and the other thing was, again, because we had the luxury of starting with a property that was zoned properly, that was already ready to do this, we could look at what nobody else in the area had and make sure we had that part of it. So we have a wedding reception center that sits 300 people for a dinner and a beautiful Victorian wedding garden that we're going to be hosting multiple weddings a week at this property. And I need you to speak about this for a second because what most people don't know is we already have people calling and asking to book the whole resort. And when we tell them, man, if you book that for a weekend, it's $500,000, they're not shuddering. And the reason I'm saying this is I don't think most people realize that there's a market out there for high-end luxury. There are people that want to pay for this in Canada, in our local area, and we know because they're already contacting us about this property.
Absolutely, Ken. Like I said before, if you provide the right value to the customer will always pay. Now, let's take the example of the Victorian garden. I know the way the Victorian garden is set up, and I know the backdrop behind it. Can you imagine, just within the nature, what that wedding would look like? It would look like $1 million.
The pictures in the background of the lake and the wildlife.
Exactly. Who wouldn't want to pay for that? And then our chefs are some of the best world-class chefs. I have spoken to Chef Bale. We have tasted his food. I mean, I'm just waiting for the world to see what he has to offer.
Yeah, we're going to have Chef Bale on the show next week. But, this guy has been running 5-star kitchens in China, in North America, focusing on every type of food, and what he's got planned for the menu at the Hay Bay Resort, it blows my mind.
Exactly. And then combine that with the world-class entertainment that we're about to bring to that place. It's a recipe designed for success.
The other thing I like about this, and I want to talk about, because I don't think we've had a chance to discuss this publicly with anybody, and this will tell everybody how much we're really planning this out ahead of time and the work we put into this. We've designed a way that our general manager, Kim Garrett-Sousa, who's freaking unbelievable, she gets to focus all of her energy on guest experience. So here at the headquarters, we're going to run a team that's going to focus on filling the resort, and our general manager, her only job is guest experience at that resort, making sure people have a good time.
Exactly, and that is a little bit non-traditional if you compare it to traditional hospitality. But you know what? In my opinion, that works really well because the general manager of the resort is there to take care of their people. Our people, we're the employees, and our guests.
Yeah.
That is going to be Kim's major responsibility over there. And in my experience, if you give one specific task to the general manager, that is the one that they're going to be measured on and be successful at.
But I mean, if we go back to every major hotel in Canada, and if you're a GM watching this show, you tell me what you think about this. Imagine if you could work in an organization where the CEO, me, took all the responsibility for revenue off of your shoulders and put it with a team that was going to take care of that for you, and all you had to focus on was maintaining a budget, maintaining profitability, and taking care of the customers. Like, it's non-traditional, right? The GM normally is focused on revenue and doing all that stuff.
Focus on everything.
But in this model, my mind says it's going to lead to a better overall customer experience. So our guests are going to freaking like this idea. They're going to feel it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it allows the GM to not be part of the stress of getting people coming in the front door, but focus all of their energy on that experience once they're there.
Exactly. And I think it's never been done before, and the way that we've been planning it, I think its ultimate value is going to come to the guest.
So if you were talking to somebody that was thinking about coming to the Hay Bay Resort, how would you hook them? What would you say to them? If they're thinking about a vacation, he's a busy lawyer, he knows he's going to have to do some work while he's there, his kids want to go fishing, like what would be the pitch to him?
I'd say come home to Napanee. You've been working hard, you've been doing all the stuff, your kids deserve the vacation they need. Come to Napanee, stay with us at the Hay Bay Resort, and we'll take care of you from one family to another.
Yeah, now right now at the property, we're getting ready to finish construction. So it's a lot of me explaining what the vision of this place is. But when you think about when that's finished, we're going to have a 50-boat marina where we're going to have 35 slips that people can rent and leave their boats there all summer. The other thing I liked about the property is that where it's located, there's about 1,000 boats a summer that go into the Trent Sever Waterway. And they have to go right by our resort to get there. And we're going to become the only property in Ontario where they can call ahead on a radio. They can reserve a slip and stay for the night. Yeah. But they can also say, here's the provisions we're going to need for the next 2 weeks. Here's the food. Here's the alcohol. Here's everything. And we can have it sitting on the dock for them when they get there.
Yep, exactly. And that is what I'm talking about in terms of the guest experience. As long as you tell us what you need, we will arrange that for you. We're going to have fuel pumps on site. They can come refuel their boats. If they have their catch of the day, if they inform us ahead of time, we'll have the chef take their catch, clean it up, and serve them their catch for dinner.
So you're telling me somebody's going to be able to go fishing
Yeah.
and arrange with the kitchen where they're going to take the fish they caught and prepare it. Give them a menu of all the different ways it can be cooked and let them eat the fish they caught that night.
Yes, our chef will prepare that fish 7 different ways. I've seen that personally.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a long time coming. I know we've been thinking about it for a while, but knowing where we are right now, we're just finalizing things. We're setting the date for opening. How excited are you about where we're going?
You know, I have sleepless nights sometimes. Just thinking about the excitement, just thinking about what kind of a experience we're about to offer. We're ready. The minute the construction is complete and you hand me over the resort, we're ready to go.
All right, last thing I'm going to ask you about, because I know people are going to watch this video and they're going to be asking, because we get emails, text messages every single week about hiring. We've got a plan and a goal to hire everybody to work at this resort from the local community, from
Absolutely.
The people around us. And we know from the amount of questions we've gotten about this that that's not going to be a difficult challenge. How is that hiring process actually going to work? What's the process that we're going to use? Are we doing a job fair? Are we going to be running ads?
We're definitely going to be hosting a local job fair in Napanee. We will be posting these positions well in advance, about 65 to 70 days before we open the resort, and then me and you personally will be both there at the job fair. What we're looking for is passion. We can teach you. We can train you. We're looking for passion. The passion for hospitality, the passion
for helping people.
For helping people. Because we're still part of the service industry. Our main mission is to serve.
Excellent.
Right? Yeah.
Bro, thanks for doing this. I know you're normally on the other side of the camera. I really appreciate this.
No worries.
And if you guys have any questions about what Hassan's doing with the resort, go ahead and put those questions in the comments and I will personally answer them for you. And make sure you stay tuned in. Wait till you see. I'm going to introduce you to the chef. I'm going to introduce you to the director of IT, a hugely important position. I'm going to introduce you to the general manager, and then we're actually going to go down to the site and watch this place get finished. We'll see you soon.